So I realized a lot of stuff, and apparently this is the only place that I've actually feel comfortable in actually talking, guys. So I realized that I've been breadcrumbing myself when it comes to my miracles. Would I be my and I think that a lot of it has to do with me accepting breadcrumbs from individuals that were breadcrumbing me. So I done comfortable with breadcrumbing myself. With other things like my music, my business now, I haven't been breadcrumbing. I've been full throttle. But the one thing that I know that I really get passionate about, and I have some fear towards, which I'm gonna be honest, some fear towards, is channeling and expressing my truth. And a lot of things, I feel like what's the issue is being seen, and not being seen by just being seen, the raw of it all, the rawness of it all. Because I have no problem being raw with my music. I have no problem being raw in my business. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with none of that. But when it comes to this, I have some type of issue that I'm working through. I'm working through it. It scares the freaking crap out of me. And I'm gonna tell you why it scares the freaking crap out of me. Because it has to do with past lives, and it has to do with now, right? As soon as I step in my power before in my past, I would always get attacked, but in the simplest forms you would think of. Right now it's the simplest forms for me, but at that time I seen it like it was very difficult, and it was the biggest thing happening to me. But in reality, it was pretty much a training for me to go through, to step into my power, right? And be okay with stepping into my power and not be afraid of my power in general. All right, okay, so what I noticed, that everything I was seeking outside of myself, and every time I seek inside of myself, and every time I speak within myself, within the knowledge just within myself and not outside of myself, I tend to like micromanage it instead of it just going raw as it is. And by all means, yes, if you look at my other videos, they're not micromanaged because I've never edited anything. You know, everything has been raw. But the continuance of it, that's what I've been micromanaging and breadcrumbing myself, the continuance of it, because I'll just hide again. I'll go into hermit mode again, and I'll literally gaslight myself saying, oh, well, I'm busy because I have my business and I have my music that I'm putting myself out there for. But when in reality, I'm an infinite being. Like, I literally I'm here. Like, I made a contract to be here right now in this era, to not be small, to be an infinite being. And that's something that literally I've been trying to embody and literally embed in my mind, because in my mind, since I've been small, I've always constricted myself and put myself small, because every time I was myself and my infinite being self, I was either judged, ridiculed, or saying I was too much, right? So this is things that I've been working on that pretty much is like, fuck, like certain things I retract back because of the fact that I feel like I'm too much. Like when I love somebody and I'm loving them from afar and they don't even know who the hell I am, but I'm so deeply in love with this person and in a way that I can't even explain. And I'm afraid to even come out and say something. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to go with that. I'm afraid to even say something. That was literally my spit. Because of the fear, first, of rejection. Secondly, of that saying of you're being too much and you're delusional and you're imagining things, right? But this is not outside things. These are things that are inside. These are things that I've been healing. These are things that come up to heal, because in my new journey, in this new chapter that I am right now, I cannot bring this lack mindset. And it's not necessarily in wealth, because right now, when it comes to abundance, by all means, I know I'm an abundant being. I know I'm an abundant being. I'm living in abundance right now. If I would explain exactly what I'm going through, and you would say, well, damn, you are living in a straight abundant life, because I am grateful for every little thing. Every little thing. I'm talking about breathing. I'm talking about being able to wash my butt, being able to brush my teeth with the toothpaste that I desire to use, because it's good for my teeth and it's good for my being, because it's not going to eat the pineal gland in my third eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much things that I'm beyond grateful for, the information that I receive from my higher self and divine, and that's instilled in me and always been in my DNA since the day I was born, for me to actually self-care and mother and nurture my inner child, and actually be proud that who I am and of my inner child, for not giving up on the dream, because I am now living this dream. All right. And also being safe to receive, something that I've been working on too. Like, I am so afraid of being in that. Like, I know I deserve abundance, but when it comes to, I don't know what unconditional love is other than what I give, right? And then I started giving the unconditional love to me. Now I know what that is, because I'm so protective of my energy. I'm so protective of me. I'm so in love with who I am that it just, how do you say it? It puts a wall to anybody that I see showing me that same type of love, because I'm like, what are you trying to get out of me? You know what I'm saying? I'm perfectly fine where I'm at, and I don't need nothing messing that up. But then I start to realize, higher self speaking, then I start to realize that, wait, hold up. I deserve every bit of that unconditional love, because I've been doing the work within myself, and I've been loving myself unconditionally. So that's the only thing I can attract. So like, when I start to receive it in frequency form, because let me tell you something, unconditional love is not a form of act. Yes, it can be, but it's beyond that. It's beyond that. It's an energy, it's a frequency that someone is sharing with you in a way that you can't even explain. And I will not be able to explain this to you unless you feel it yourself, and then you will be able to understand it. That's why I know for a fact that what I feel is not delusional. It's not an illusion. And if it is delusional, it will be manifested into being, because delusion, you stay in that delusion and believe in that delusion, it comes to be, right? But that's just one state of delusion, which is manifestation, because you could be in delusion, not believe in it, and it won't come, because the fact that you're still in the mode of it's not safe for you to receive. So your nervous system is always going to repel it out, right? So it's going to end up being missed opportunities, right? And then you go with your mindset, which I've had with my mindset saying, you could not miss what is yours, right? And, but you can block miracles. You can block the full throttle of a miracle, because if you don't believe or feel safe in receiving, you're just gonna micromanage that miracle. Excuse me, or throat chakra acting up. But that's because I'm speaking my truth, and like I said, I'm working through this, so my throat chakra is trying to shut down. With that being said, I will push through this, and I'm gonna speak. So you would end up breadcrumbing your miracle, instead of embracing who the fuck you are, and embracing the infinite miracle that you deserve. If you have done the work, you deserve it all. All of it. Every single beautiful and magical and infinite love, caring, lights, abundance in all form when it comes to knowledge, wealth, friendships, family, everything, all of it. It's beautiful. You deserve it because you took the time to get to know that infinite, powerful being that's within you. You took the time to stay in that dark and alchemize it in such a beautiful light. You took the time to transmute every single thing that wanted to bring you down, and regardless of what, you still kept pushing through. So why not? Are you not capable? Why not are you safe to receive this abundance and infinite love that you desire, and that's also desiring you? What I'm also understanding now is that whatever you're seeking is seeking you. And whatever you're seeking is in you. So what I'm saying is, I'm at the point of, I'm realizing that everything I've desired, everything I've wanted is within me. This whole entire time, this magic, this fairy tale to come into reality, it's me. It's me. It's within me. It attracts to me. Anything outside of me is a material form that's attracting to me of what I already have in me. And that's literally what is the most difficult thing if your nervous system's not prepared for it. And I guess that's what I've been working through. And I don't want to say it sucks, it's a beautiful thing. But ego-wise, it sucks because you want to control everything, and in reality, you cannot control nothing, because nothing exists without you being in the unknown and being led by your intuition and your faith, because the magic is in the void and the unknown. Perfect example, the day you are born. You're in the void. You're in the void, and you become this beautiful, magical being inside of somebody's womb. And then when you're released, you get the privilege to be the spirit in the shell, right? What we call human beings. You get the privilege and the honor and the miracle, because that's the greatest miracle of all, because you actually made it alive in that shell. It wasn't stillborn. It wasn't, you didn't die getting into that shell. Not everybody makes it to that shell. Not every spirit makes it to the human shell. But in order for you to reach that, you had to go through the void. You had to be in that darkness, not knowing what was next. Not knowing if you were going to make it in that shell. But the belief of you knowing that you were going to make that. You were going to make it in that shell and be the greatest thing to ever shift this whole 3D realm that we're in. That is an experiment, but it's never been an experiment gone wrong, and it's actually an experiment gone right, because you chose to still be the light regardless of everything that you experience that's considered as darkness. But you've seen that regardless of the darkness, you were the light. And you could still be that light, and you could still love. Because that's who you are. That's who you were born to be. As a child, you did not judge no one. You were taught to do that. But you didn't judge no one. Matter of fact, as a child, you played and somebody messed with you and you got hurt. And then right afterwards, you were smelling each other's butts again and playing with each other because you did not judge. You just still loved regardless. You loved unconditionally because the fact that that's the only thing you know. That's who you are. That's the purity of what you are. The experience of the human experience, all the trials, all the training that you had to go through was to get out of that. Overcome it. Win. Because that's what it is, winning. And remembering who you are. Because you never lost who you are. You've always been there. Some people are okay with dancing in the dark and remaining in the dark. Others love the darkness, but knew who they were regardless of the darkness and stood there loving in their light and knew how to balance the dark and the light. And others were just pure light and didn't know how to anchor themselves in the darkness and left too early. I'm gonna leave this here. My message to you: don't be afraid of who you are. And I mean that from the bottom of my core. We're not humans. We're spirits. Ultimate, powerful spirits in this human shell. And victory has always been ours.